When COVID-19 forced some people to stay at home, binge eating went into overdrive for some people.
Here at Melrose Center, we have seen, record volumes of patients coming through our doors.
Melrose Center provides care for all types of eating disorders. Dr. Heather Gallivan says between all 5 locations, including Maple Grove, they've seen more assessments scheduled now than ever before.
We typically treat about 3,000 people here a year across our different locations. We have 5 sites across the metro area. And last month, I think we brought in more than 200 new patients.
Not only are people binging food to cope and comfort themselves during the pandemic, others have actually reported eating less.
There's a lot of shame and guilt that come with all the eating disorders. And I think one thing that's been very difficult with this pandemic is kind of that increased isolation.
Gallivan says through isolation, it's much easier for someone to hide an eating disorder.
So I think the science behind it is there likely are some biological manifestations that can put people at higher risk for developing an eating disorder. And then things in our environment can then sort of be the trigger that the disorder may be expressed, if that makes sense.
Some factors that trigger eating disorders include family dynamics and a person's temperament or personality.
If someone is struggling with an eating disorder, or they think they might have an eating disorder, they have a loved one with an eating disorder, or someone they're concerned about, encouraging them to get help. Although we are in a pandemic, the beauty of this pandemic has been the onset of broad use of telehealth.
In addition to professional health, doctors recommend everyone to stay on a routine such as eating regularly throughout the day and getting exercise.
It's hard for us to feel comfortable talking about those things, but right now more than ever, it's really important to reach out to people you might be worried about and ask them how they're doing.
Pafua Yang, CCX News.
Find more local news stories at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.